today. From
and off we go from Tampa. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss. Okay, and he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. To throw, Mills. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Mills. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson rolling to his right. And this one is incomplete. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He hits his target, Lockett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Broncos are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Mills on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. A loss loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack on first down, Mills. He finds his man, complete. It's Davidson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for this with Singletary. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week. He can't do it all on one throw.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. A first down throw for Mills. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing, Mills. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Mills. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Mills. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. A give up the middle to Singletary. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the gun, here's Mills. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Singletary here running out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. .157 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The kick by Bass is good. And they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how
100 here. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10, sliding out of the pocket. He's going to get this complete here to Lockett. And did he get in? No! They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll try again with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Mills' throw pulled in by Kittle. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Mills to throw it. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Mills now from the 50. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we get it, no time to waste. Playoffs starting next week. We skip right over halftime and get back to the action. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. Tyler Lockett, 70 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mills. Throw right side, pulled in by Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
90 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right.
Looking for Lockett, and he's got him working his way free across the middle.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Broncos have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Nathaniel Hackett told his offense to stay put. They're going for 2.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Fighting to stay upright. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Mills now.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Here's Hill on the return. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
120 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
They go play action now. Jackson, he'll buy some time right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Looking to throw is Mills.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Juwan Bentley.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Watch out for Hill on the return. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson rolling to his right. This complete to Lockett. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Broncos continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Santos with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out come the Bucs now.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is
on 2nd and inches. Mills, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
First down, Mills. And he'll get this. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Play action. It's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play actions. And
they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One last shot from Mills.
And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Denver, they finish off a perfect regular season.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not to ride nobody with, we the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we lit. Grr.
Trust, me taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog with your leash. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when we ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful the people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. P5, I was starving for months. A running cut team, but on my pockets, me need my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Boy, that they gonna know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only got for the money bags and I don't really wanna be famous, man.